Good day, watchers, and welcome to a totally full movie review tonight. And tonight, I've been watching a movie, and you know what, it surprised me a bit. There's a film called Proteus, or Proteus, whatever you call it. Proteus. I've been watching this time. Not long finished. I brought it from CEX, right? If you look at my update collection, right, and I got it for like 50p, and it surprised me. The film actually was a nice surprise. I suppose in a way it was what I expected the film was. Sometimes when you think of, when you look at the back of a cover, you think it's not what you see in the back of the cover, and it is what I expect in the film. So let's read the back. It's on a steamily deserted oil rig lurks the ultimate horror. 6 misfits adrift in a life raft believe their ordeal to be over when they see the mighty leg of an oil rig looming out of the sea mist. The truth, however, is that they have discovered a high-tech platform using a dedicated team of scientists researching genetic engineering. Using a package of synthetic DNA called Proteus, capable of instant evolution, the scientists have created a mutant that lurks around every chilling corner. Now, this is a lot. This stars what's his name, Craig Fairbrass, who's been in the Rise of the Foot Soldiers. Now, he was in EastEnders, and he's in a film called Cliffhanger too, which is a good film. And he's a good actor. I like his actor. He's in another film that you've got to watch. It's a great film. And that, I can't remember what the name of the film was, but if I get the name of the film, it's a great film. It's a good film. I sat and watched it. I thought, what a great movie. It's an action movie, and it's about these killers and stuff, and he's got to protect his daughter. So it's like a kind of like storyline. It's really good. I was like, wow, what a movie. But he's really good in that. And he's actually quite good in this. He's got a bit of humour in this and stuff like that. And this film was it's not what I expected, of course. It wasn't like, you know, it kind of reminds me, okay, if I have to cross between two films, hybrids, it would have to be The Thing and Deep Rising. Now, Deep Rising, because on that film they find a ship and they go on it, it's deserted, and there's a monster on board. On this, they find an oil rig, it's deserted. These people, misfits, like it says on the back, these friends, whatever, and they turn out to be drunk people, you know, they have drugs on board, whatever. But anyway, they're on the boat. The boat blows up, so they end up on this oil rig, and of course it's almost deserted. Now in Deep Rising, it's a similar kind of thing where these characters go on a ship and it's deserted, and they have to find out, and it's creeping. It's not as good as that, but it's not a bad freaking movie. I was a bit surprised how old it was actually. It's 1995. I thought 95. Now, like I said, it's crossed between Deep Rising and The Thing because it has those similarities about him. And I think because, okay, I did Deep Rising. Now The Thing, because The Thing kind of like, if it can, what's that word called? I suppose it can eat its victims and actually become them. That's what it can do. It's kind of similar to that. It can, it kind of eats their victims. That's what it does. It's like a shark. That's called Charlie. It's like this DNA thing that they're called. It's like the DNA they're called Charlie. So is it the shark they're called Charlie? So it's like the shark thing. They give it DNA, this stuffed, and they give it to a shark, and then it's really quite weird. I mean, it isn't bad at all. And they do kind of like the Thing effects with the creepy little, you know, the mutated tentacles and stuff like that. And it's actually really surprising and a really good film. Hope they have it on Blu-ray one day because it's good. It's not like one of the greatest films ever made, but it's enjoyable. It's one of those films that you put in, watch it, and enjoy it. And you watch it, and you kind of it does remind me of The Thing a bit, of course. And then they meet like a scientist. Yes, you see a scientist pop up somewhere. Now one of the friends get taken by them. And when they're okay. When they end up on the oil rig, it's deserted. They're looking around. Of course, one of the characters gets taken by some kind of monster or something. And you think, what happened to him? He just vanishes. He completely just... And of course it explains later on why it does that. And then they meet this old bloke in it, this scientist, so he's like... And he's quite strong. It's weird. It's like, hang on, he's quite strong. Something's not right here. Even the main character, Fairbrass character, he's like, what the hell? He's quite strong for an old bloke. And then later on you see it's like a woman in it who's a scientist, and she's like strong. She throws him through glass, and it's like, hang on a minute, something not right here. Super strong, two super strong people. some of the characters get like, what happens in it? It's like I said, it's like the thing. Who do you trust? It's like that. This thing can actually. It's like one part where one character, there's a security guy in it, right? And he pops up and he's at the beginning. No, it's one part he's getting chased, right? And you think, is he dead or is he alive? Don't know, because he pops up later on. So it happens, and you think, that's what it does. The thing's like an imitation. It kind of like when it eats someone, like it kind of like makes like when it eats someone. I'm trying to figure that word. That person's conscience is still there. They're still there, but they're not. So it can, say for instance, it can get your consciousness still being there, but at the same time, that other person's life it's trying to kill is in danger. So anyway, later on in the film, one of the girl gets like, so it happens to one of the girl, like with the security guard, when they find the security guard, so it happens to her, she gets knocked out. They're in this like room, like a white, it's like a, I don't know, a doctor's room, whatever. And one of the girls is like, knocked out and stuff. Next minute, this thing pops down. It's like tentacle. I don't know what it is. It's like a freaking. It looks like a conker, a wet conker. It just comes down like, or maybe a wet ball sack. I don't know. and it goes into her mouth, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. And she starts all this green stuff, and then she's acting all kind of weird. And you think, what the hell's going off? She does something to one of the friends, one of the characters, and he's actually all kind of weird. Then there's like a scene in it with the two women. I'm like, because they get all split up, right? They all split up. The girl kind of goes off somewhere. The guy goes off somewhere. So the girl's in the room. No, what happens in it? Yeah, the girl's in the room by herself with the guy. And then then something happens, right? And then the girl's there again. It's like I said, the thing can like transform and actually look like that other. It's like it can like eat someone and then become them afterwards. It's like the thing. It's like, and she becomes. Then this scene was quite interesting. I was like, oh, okay, this is getting interesting. Well, the woman's there, and she starts walking towards the other woman, and she starts like grabbing hold of her, and then something goes into her mouth, and then she starts eating her like, I'm trying to think of that word, and then it's like it's weird. It's weird. It's kind of a hot scene because I thought to myself, something might happen between those two. So that scene was quite nasty at the same time. That scene was, because it gets quite gross later on. Because the guy in it, main character, Fairbrass, he finds a tape, a VHS tape. That's how old this film is. It's like, Jesus Christ, a VHS tape of these guy on the who was talking to earlier, and his next minute he starts transforming and starts talking about Charlie and stuff. So she said, "You're Charlie," and said next minute it's like a twist who this character is, because she says he's acting funny, he's acting different like before. Of course, he has to try to convince her that he's not Charlie and stuff, and it's like that. I did like that storyline concept of like, who do you trust in the movie, which I thought was interesting. He convinces her that they go back to the room. He convinces her, of course, and then run into the other character in the movie, and he's like, something happens right where he runs off with her, right. And that scene was quite interesting. She believes him. She thinks that the other guy's Charlie. Of course, Charlie's the other character. It's like that. It's like he somehow. It's like. It's a good. I like the way they did that. I like the fact that who do you trust. And the last, there's one part where these other characters turn up on this helicopter, and this scene was really good. I was like, wow, this scene was good. Where these guys turn up. The next minute, he shoots the other guy, the scientist, because Charlie's become the scientist now, and he shoots her. Next minute, they run off. I think his character. They just get the hell out of there, because. And next minute, you see the shadow, the shadow of the character, and always see his tentacles coming out like that. And it's quite creepy. It reminds me of the Thing. You don't really see it. You just see his freaking tentacles and stuff, and he starts freaking doing some screwed up thing. Starts like killing the characters off, and he does what he usually does, is kills the other characters and sucks him up. He sucks him up and like eats him. That's what I call it, eating. That's what he does. Consumes the character. That's another word. So he consumes that character. Of course, the what's his name? I can't remember his name. He presses the button for self-destruct of the base and the rig for it to blow up. Of course, so the timer goes down to like, I don't know, is it 15 minutes? So, of course, they make a run for it. Of course, two of the main characters in it. And this scene was good. I like the scene where you see them like, you know, trying to get off the rig right by. So then you see that woman turn up. And I like this transformation where you actually see Charlie. It looks like a kind of cross between a shark and the Thing from, you know, that alien from the Thing. It kind of looks like that. I'm pretty sure they got that idea from that because it looks similar. It kind of looks like a scary looking shark. And it looks like from another planet, the Thing does it. The Thing, Charlie, that, you know, whatever it is, it looks like something from another planet. It's like, I'm like, Jesus Christ. And that scene was really good. I like to me, the effects were quite impressive for a low, it looked like a low budget film, but not a bad movie, I'd say. I was a bit surprised. Good practical effects from this. You know, the shark looks pretty cool. So anyway, the last bit was confusing. There was a bit of a twist at the end. I went, huh? It didn't really make sense the last bit. I still didn't get it. With the chopper pilot, I was like, oh, okay. Okay, is that two of them or what? I don't know. The last bit didn't make much sense, but apart from that, I enjoyed it. So what? Okay, so let's get to the rating right now. What did I like about it and what I didn't like about it? Okay, what I didn't like about it, some of the acting wasn't the best. I mean, there's one part where one of the characters sees something and she just kind of like screams and it looked a bit fake. The acting did, but and certain parts I couldn't really see because it was too dark because of the DVD quality and stuff. I don't know, it's just the way they filmed the film, I think, because it's so dark certain parts, you don't know what was going off. It's like when the part at the beginning of the film went on the raft, and you couldn't really see anything around them, it was all dark and stuff, I don't know, it was weird. And sometimes when you watch your film, you can see what's going on around the water or anything, but this you couldn't really see much. Apart from that, what I liked about it, I liked the effects, some of the effects in it. I liked the action. Some of the, I liked some of the death scenes in it, pretty kind of remind me, certain parts did remind me of The Thing a bit. And Deep Rising. It was like a really enjoyable film. Some of the effects didn't. I mean, some of the effects were like, you know, but some of it was pretty good. I was like surprised actually by some of the effects in this film, and the way they used some of the practical effects too is pretty good. Especially the shark effects at the end. The rate I'm going to give this film is, I mean, I was thinking 3.5, but then I think, you know, I was thinking, but I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'll give it a 4 stars out of 5 stars. 4 out of 5. So yeah. 4-star rating movie. I can't believe I'm actually saying that, but it actually, like I said, this film surprised me a bit. I wasn't expecting much, but hey, you know, like I said, I'll give a film that I enjoy a higher rating like that. So yeah, 4 out of 5 for Proteus, what it's called. Yeah, 4 out of 5. Yeah, I know people. Remember to subscribe to my channel, and if you want to comments to the bottom, if you've ever seen Proteus, what do you think of it? Like I said, I wasn't really expecting. I don't know. I wasn't really expecting much apart from a fun horror movie, and it was a fun horror movie. And it has a kind of, I suppose, like I said, it reminded me of The Thing and Deep Rising a bit. It's really good. So anyway, people, remember to subscribe to my channel, and have a nice evening. Take care, bye.